Piranha's Raider. I'm here at the C10 Truck Nationals in Fort Worth, Dallas. Ken, how's it going?
It's going good.
It's going good. The sun is shining. Nice and hot.
Trucks are rolling in.
And the trucks are rolling in. Look at that, everybody. That's the thing that I love about these truck shows. You never know what you're going to see.
No, you sure don't.
Whether you don't know if it's going to be an absolute patina or an absolute hot rod or an absolute show car being traded in.
You're exactly right. We get everything here from a person that's got $500,000 into it to a guy that's got $500 into it. So
exactly.
we take it all.
And how long have you been involved with this?
Since the beginning. We've been doing, this is our 6th year.
Nice. And you do it with Chris?
Yeah, me and Chris are partners.
Okay, and you both started this?
Yes, we both started it.
So obviously you guys are big Chevy truck guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I got a 1972 long wheelbase 402 big block matching numbers truck myself.
Nice, nice. And what is it about the Chevy pickups that you love?
Oh, it's just they're fun. You know, when we first started this, the truck stuff is just went crazy. When we first started this, you could still buy some of these trucks for a reasonable price. So you could get the working man can buy these trucks and have a lot of fun doing it. And
not anymore.
Well, yeah, now it's gotten really expensive, but it's still not. I mean, well, I can't say that. Yeah, now it's gotten super expensive.
Well, they're just so popular now. You know, we've been talking about on the channel. It's the era of the trucks.
It is the era of the trucks.
It's the era of the trucks, and this weekend it's all about the Chevy trucks. And next weekend, if you don't mind, I'm going over to the Ford Truck Show. I gotta say that I'm sitting with a Chevy guy, right?
Now that's a 4-letter word around here.
But hey, this is awesome. So this weekend you've got the autocross happening.
Yeah, autocross.
Awards.
You got the dyno going on down there. We'll have a burnout contest here in a little bit. And we have the awards later on, and somebody's going to go home. Did you see the giveaway truck?
No, I haven't. I've literally just walked in an hour ago.
Where's Chris at?
He's over there signing up.
Right there. He's over there.
Oh, there he is.
We'll go over here. We're going to get Chris to talk to you, and then I'll take you over and show you the giveaway.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see the giveaway. We want to come back and film some of the races as well and the burnout. I do like the step sides, everybody. You know, it always catches your eye, and as I was saying, it gives it that classic truck look. And check out the nice, beautiful pinstriping that this one's got. And you guys know me, it's not always about the flashiest truck or the one with the biggest engine, the biggest motors, but this looks good, and if it looks good, I'm gonna have to ask about it. Jim, I like your truck.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm doing just fine. Beautiful day.
It is beautiful, and let's hope it stays like that.
Yes.
Tell us, what have you got here?
This is a 1969 Chevrolet C10. This truck has been in the family for a long time. My father bought it in 1971, so it's been in the family for a long time. Dad drove it. It was just his old farm truck, his work truck. He drove it everywhere. It's got over 400,000 miles on it. In 2010, when Dad finally just retired the truck, and then I got the truck from him, and I wanted to build it as a tribute truck and be able to finish it so that my father could see it done and get a ride in it before he passed away, which I accomplished. So that was a big event for me. But the truck is original. It's the original color. I've redone it. It's an original color. It was special ordered, this rally green. The engine, this is the 4th engine it's had in it because of the miles. I put it back as a stock 350 engine.
You wanted to keep that vintage look?
I wanted to keep the vintage look,
yeah. No, this is awesome, and so much of what you've said, I'm absolutely loving it. 69 C10 belonged to your dad.
Yes.
So that means that you basically grew up in this.
Yes.
You grew up in this, so you've got memories of sitting in this truck.
Oh yeah. I left a lot of the stuff, the exterior I repainted.
Yep.
The interior, I did not repaint. The interior is original.
I like the position of the pinstriping you've chosen.
The old school pinstripe.
Yep.
But it's little things like this that I left because that was from my father driving with his arm hanging out the window for so many years.
Nice.
Little stuff like that.
Nice. I absolutely love that. Honestly, look at this. The old green, Jim.
Old Green was that. This truck was always referred to by my father as Old Green.
As old green.
Yeah.
And how do you feel when you sit and drive this?
Oh, I feel great. I just feel like sometimes I can still see my father riding with me on the passenger side. It's just a fun truck to drive.
I love that. I absolutely love
My
that.
daughter has already laid claim to it, so it'll stay in the family for another generation.
Doesn't get better than that. You guys know that I absolutely love stories like that. Keep it running for the third generation, and the fact that it was your father's, you've got it here, you've done it, and he got to have a ride in this after it was done.
You got to have it right after it was done.
And what was his reaction?
Oh, he could not believe that this was the same truck that he had.
Wow.
He just couldn't believe it. So that was like I say, it was a big event. It was a fun day for me.
Nice. Loving the step side. What's the bed like under that?
The bed on the inside. I use the truck. I haul stuff in it. As you can see,
Okay.
it's still a truck.
It's still a truck. You use
still a
it,
truck.
you drive it.
Yeah, I drive it since I've restored it. I put about 50,000 miles on it.
Good for you.
So I drive it.
You drive it.
I drive
That's what
it.
we want to hear. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. The perfect height
Get on the back.
for this truck style.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I had it lower for a while and I didn't
Yeah.
like it, so I brought it back up.
I don't know, it just gives it a real nice look because of the chrome and the way it's sitting and the length of the bed.
Right.
It just looks good at this level. Chris, how are you going today? How are you enjoying yourself?
Having a great time. We come here every year.
Every year?
Every year, yes. We drive them down. We've never had none of our trucks on a trailer. We don't
They're all drivable trucks, and why not? I mean, these look absolutely brilliant. 1963 C10.
65.
65. That's your
See?
friend's fault.
Yes. My grandpa bought it brand new.
Your grandpa got this brand new.
Brand new. I learned to drive in it in 1976. I was 10 years old, and that's what he threw me in there and said, follow him. And
Wow.
that's how I learned to drive.
And you just got in, and that's it. Like,
I got in, he showed me it had a 3-speed on the tree manual transmission, and he showed me how to let out on the clutch. I couldn't see out of the dash when I let out, but then I could see up and steer.
so how old were you?
10 years old.
10 years old. So you were 10 years old when you first started learning how to drive.
Yes. In this exact thing.
You gotta love the old
Yep.
days.
Yep.
You gotta love the old
Yes,
days,
yes,
honestly.
yes.
And you've kept this all this time, and obviously you've restored it.
Yes, I completely changed it. He wasn't too happy. He was still alive when I did it. He thought I should have left it original, but I wanted it all the nice to go down the road.
What was it like original? I mean, it was still drivable, but
It
did
was
have
still
some patina?
drivable. It had patina. It wasn't too bad. It had a little rust. It was a farm truck its whole
Okay.
life. We used to haul cows around in the back. You could put 2 heifers in the back and haul them out.
Wow.
Pasture.
And being in Texas, you're from Texas,
I'm from
guessing?
Kansas.
You're from Kansas. Even then, it's still dry.
Right.
So the trucks do last well.
Right. They do. They do. They get a little bit because you're out on the dirt roads and
Yeah.
stuff. But back then, the old Chevys would rust if they got rained on. They
There
would
you go.
rust a little bit. It was in pretty decent shape. It's been a little over a year restoring.
Okay, okay.
I converted it. I put air conditioning and cruise control and power steering. Made it where it's nice to drive.
Well, the first thing that caught my eye as I was walking by is that engine. So come up close and tell us exactly what you've done here.
Right now, it has a 327 in it with a WN 144 supercharger. And it used to be fuel injected, and I went back to a carburetor on it. And
So what made you want to go back to a carburetor?
I was setting it up several years ago for absolute reliability, and I didn't want to rely on any electronics out on the road somewhere. I can fix that carburetor with a screwdriver and a pair of pliers and get back going down the road.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, because this is your driver, it is a classic, and the fact that you can just fix it with your own hands, I appreciate that.
I didn't want to have to worry on trying to find electronic parts.
Okay, okay. That's something really good to have for everyone to keep in mind. But I'm loving the chrome and the color on this as well. And I like that you've done green and green.
Yes.
Let's have a look at the interiors. You got a bit of ghost flames happening as well.
Everything's, I used to have electric windows in it too, but they weren't working right, so I converted it back to mechanical, so I would never have a problem with them.
And now you don't have a problem.
No, I don't.
Wow, this is beautiful. I'm loving the green. And what is it about the C10s that you like so much?
I grew up around it.
You grew up around it.
I grew up around them, and it's like this one. I learned to drive in it. I've been around it my whole life.
It's familiar.
That's what it is. And when I bought my first truck, it was a Chevy.
It was a Chevy.
So
A Chevy guy.
that's what I've become, a Chevy guy. My grandpa always had GMCs or Chevys, so I just followed along.
Nah, this is awesome. And how long did it took you? A year to restore?
A little over a year to go through it. I was a lot more ambitious then, because most of that was body work. Because it had been a farm truck, and it took a lot of work to get it back in shape.
And you did it all yourself?
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. And you know how to work on cars just growing up, or?
I've been doing it my whole life. I work on everything. I work on
Well, I mean, if
tractors.
you're driving since the age of 10, so I'm guessing you'd have to know what you're...
Like the engine and everything, I built the engine and all. I rebuilt the rear ends, everything. I go through every bolt in this truck I put in. So if something happens, I only have one person to blame.
Nice, nice. And this is a long bed.
Yes.
Okay, now I have a question for you, because if some of you have been following my Facebook groups, I've been talking about the long beds and the short beds.
Mm-hmm.
Short beds are very popular right now.
Right.
And someone mentioned about the long beds and the handling of it.
I would think a long bed would handle better going down the highway.
And another
And
person
they haul.
and that whole, exactly.
And the way I am, it seems everybody wants a short bed. I'm not everybody.
Well, now they do.
Right.
So maybe, who knows, maybe in 10, 15 years, everybody's going to be looking for a long bed.
Right. And then
And you would have had one.
I'll want a short bed then. Be different.
Love the attitude. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a beautiful 1951 Chevy 5-window with LS1. Absolutely brilliant. And the thing that I love even more is Kevin and Cindy have worked on this together. They've restored it. How are you two today?
We're real good.
Loving your truck. Before we even get into it on what you've exactly done, how long did you have this for before you started restoring it?
6 months. We bought it off a guy that started building it and gave up, and we took it from there.
You took it over. Were you looking for a 51?
Tripped across it on Facebook.
Just
and-
like that?
Yep.
And what about prior to that? What is it about the Chevy Classics that drew you to that page?
The swooping fenders, the curves, the body curves, and just
It's like a true classic pickup, isn't it?
Yeah, just classic.
I actually had a grandparent that had, actually two grandparents that had these.
That had
so,
this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were familiar with it.
Yeah.
You were familiar. Okay, that is awesome. And how bad was the state? I mean, he had started doing some restoration work. How far had he gotten?
He probably 10% of the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You guys had your
We
work
had to
cut out.
redo a lot of what was started.
He made a lot of mistakes that we had to correct.
You had to then correct. It's one of those things that any kind of project out there, you never know what you're going to find.
Right.
Once you get your hands on it,
Yeah.
you get all these hidden skeletons that I call them.
Yes.
Trying to come out.
Yep, like the cab, he said it was ready for paint, and I started sanding his bodywork and found a lot of filler, so we ended up chopping the top of the cab off and put a new top on.
Wow.
Chopped the back of the cab off and put a new back on.
Because it was that much bad.
And that was very
Yeah.
bad bodywork. So we were
I've
going to
never
do
seen
it
so
right
much
if we were
mud.
going to do it.
The body work, was that the hardest part of the restoration?
Yeah, it was tough, but we've done it before, and
You've done it before.
yeah, I've built square bodies, and
Okay.
yeah, I knew what I was getting into.
And Cindy, were you involved before as well, or was this the first time you got involved?
I've been involved, but not as involved as I was with this one. So.
All right, well, in that case, let's start off with Cindy. Come walk with me, hon, and tell me, where have you hurt your hands on this?
Well, there's been a lot of lifting of parts and everything, and we would go and mimic what we were doing with the engine of it, so I know quite a bit about that. The brakes, yes, not a favorite of mine.
Why? Tell me about the brakes. Beautiful LS1 here, clean firewall. It's
The preparation of the brakes.
She don't like bleeding brakes. Pump
Yeah.
the pedal.
what is that? It's a bit of a messy work there, isn't it?
It's just a lot of work and a lot of time to get everything set just right.
Okay.
Yeah. But
And
my
she
big,
did the interior
yeah,
too.
the interior is my
She
big.
did all that.
You did all the interior. Okay, let's go have a look. What about the paint? Did you guys do the paint yourself?
Yes.
You actually did the paint as well.
Yes.
That's something that often always goes out to the shop.
Yep.
Wow.
We've got a good friend of ours. He runs a body shop.
Yep.
And he come out and we work together on the paint.
And he would help you guys. Okay, wow, but it's been done so well.
Yep.
Let's have a look at the interiors.
And now it's dirty because we've been driving it. But
Yeah, but you drive these, so it's okay. Wow, this is very nice. And is the dash period correct as well?
yes, it is. Dakota digital gauges.
I love your shifter.
Yeah, they're good. A friend of ours that we met here at the C10 Nationals give us that bullet casing, and I thought that'd be a cool shifter. It's not period correct, but it's just cool.
It is cool,
It's just
100%.
cool. Something different.
Well done on the interiors.
Thank you.
It looks really good.
I can now say I've done leather work.
It looks good though. And you've never done interiors before?
No,
She loves sewing. She does quilting and stuff as a hobby.
that's kind of how that
So
got
she's
started.
familiar on how to sew and
Wow, that is awesome.
cutting shapes of fabric and make stuff fit.
That is awesome. And we've got the exhaust coming out here on the side.
Yeah, that way you can hear it rumble.
Now, where is the gas tank? Is it still behind the
That's
seat?
below the bed floor.
Below the bed floor.
In order to fill it, we got this.
Okay. And Kevin, you were telling me that you raised this because of the suspension.
Yes, that way it rides a little lower. You get a good modern 4-link suspension with coilover, so it rides like a newer sports car.
So have you just body dropped this, or is it actually on airbags?
It's on coilover suspension.
Okay.
Installing the windows, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
she helped
couple
install
help.
windows, yes. Yeah.
What about the rubber trimming? Did you have to redo all of that as well?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow, you guys really had your work cut out for you. I mean, it's practically a full frame off restoration.
Yes,
Yes,
it was. It was
yeah.
laid in a million pieces.
Yeah. You know, when someone tells you, oh, I've already started this project, you know, I haven't finished it, but I've started it, you would expect to have a little bit more into it than
Yeah.
what you guys got.
Yeah.
Every nut and bolt's been taken out.
Wow. Wow. There you go. And this is the first time it's getting shown here at the C10
Yes.
Nationals.
Yes.
And you guys did this in 2 years in order to get it finished for this event.
Yes.
Yes, we were pushing to have it ready for this event.
This is our goal.
Well, it looks good. Now, is there award systems happening at the show today?
Yes, there is.
Yes. at
Have they
5
already
o'clock.
done judging?
They've been gradually doing it. They still do it till, I don't remember if it's noon or like 2 o'clock.
Okay. Well, all the best. Thank you so much for sharing your truck.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I don't blame him. I would not want him to paint this either. Wow, this is beautiful. Vaughn and Ricky.
Yes.
I told you guys, this is amazing. You don't need to paint it. You've got a sign there because it looks just as good as it is right now without being painted.
Thank you.
So what made you guys decide to keep it like this?
I wanted something unique, a little different. I saw some steel trucks out, some raw steel trucks, and they were always the old steel. They were original. They just didn't paint them. So I decided that I would build a brand new truck. So we built the frame. We bought every piece of sheet metal brand new. It just took the primer off, and I sanded it and put a little boiled linseed oil on it. And I just wanted a pretty brand new, no Bondo, raw metal truck.
You want it to be different.
I wanted to be a little different.
A little different. And it's a 70?
67.
67. Okay, wow. But before we talk about the interior, because I'm loving the interior, it just looks so beautiful, let's have a look under the hood. All right, Ricky, talk to me. What have you got here?
That's started off as an LS based engine. It's now a 418 cubic inch running twin 67 millimeter turbos. At full boost, we make about 1,300 horsepower.
Wow.
It's got a turbo controller that lets me have has 3 tunes. So I can kind of tune the horsepower depending on what I want to do.
Okay,
So I have
tell
a
me about
valet
that.
tune, which is what me and Vaughn drive in when we're just driving. And then I have a street tune, which I want to go out and play. It makes 700 horsepower to the rear wheels. And then I have a I have an FU tune, which I don't want to say the FU, but it's a nasty, and it puts out about 900 to the rear wheels.
Wow.
And that's why I kind of leave that for the drag strip.
And you control that inside with the computer?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a little computer sitting on the dash that controls my boost, which it controls how much boost these make.
Wow. Love it. Now you would have 2 exhausts coming out. Is that from the sides?
I have several exhausts.
Several.
I have we're called electric cutouts, which this is the exhaust. The main exhaust spools the turbos, and then after the turbos, they run down, and we have electric cutouts. So it's just raw exhaust coming out. I can have electronic switch to open and close them. It's really loud when they're open. So I close them, it goes through 2 mufflers, and then it goes through 1 pipe here in the back of the bumper. If you can see on the far side of the bumper.
So it's separated as it's coming under the carriage?
All the way to the back except
and
right
then it
there.
comes here just the one. And look at all that black smoke, everybody.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to get you to turn this on.
That's no problem.
You know, as I was telling Vaughn, the color, the rawness, complete with that engine, everything just goes. How did you get the vision in mind about wanting to do something completely like this?
This is a vision from about 20 years ago, just going to car shows and looking at too many magazines and just being a kind of a car guy. You kind of have your own, you want to do something else.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to do, and it took about 20 years to make it happen.
And of course you had to have a supportive wife for that.
Very supportive.
Without him, it's not possible.
Because if you think this is stupid money to do this, it is. And then you have to add more on top of that.
Really?
Because this doesn't make sense. But it makes me happy.
Exactly.
It keeps me out of the bars. It keeps me, I don't chase anything because I'm always chasing this.
I wouldn't say it doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me too.
Yeah.
But for other people, you know, it's just like, I don't understand. So that's okay. You don't have to.
Exactly.
I do.
It
She
comes down to
tolerates
personal
it, and I understand. So.
In a very good way.
So what did you think, Vaughn, when he said he wanted to have it completely bare metal, no color?
I liked it. He asked me. We've been together 6 years, and he had a previous one. It was all black.
Okay.
Flat black. And on our second date, he brought it, and I was like, okay, I can handle this.
Okay, this is what you like.
So it was good. And when he said, okay, let's just do bare metal, or I want to do that, okay, sure.
You knew you were getting involved with a car guy.
Yes, exactly.
Simple as that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's have a look at these interiors, guys, because I'm loving the leather in here.
So the interior is all from TMI.
Very nice.
That's the little round computer on the dash that controls my boost. The main computers are under the seat that controls my methanol injection.
Turbo
Because I
Smart.
run 93 octane with methanol. So I have a gas tank in the back for regular gas, and then I have a special methanol tank.
And when you choose the functions there, then it will decide which tank it's going to draw from.
No, this just controls the boost of the turbos.
Okay.
The methanol, the computer controls the methanol, and it only pumps methanol when I'm at full throttle and the motor is needing the most fuel and air possible. Then the computer will tell that pump to crank up and send methanol to the motor.
You got to turn this on. We all want to hear it. And of course it's on air rides,
Yeah.
sitting that low.
This is where it rides. Now
Yeah.
I'm fixing to lay it down. The slang word for that is called laying frame. So the actual frame of the truck is actually sitting on the ground now.
So you've lowered the body, you've dropped it.
I've lowered the body, I've
Yep.
lowered the frame, everything lowers down. So the frame is literally sitting on the ground. If you crank it and put it in drive, it won't go anywhere
Uh-huh.
because it's basically stuck.
Yes, it's basically stuck. Beautiful. And I'm loving the bed here as well. What wood have you used?
This is the oak wood. This is something I did to the truck. It's just coated with about 20 coats of oil and about 6 coats of polyurethane. These are my battery disconnects so I can run that.
Loving the black tires. What have you got there?
Talked about the methanol before.
Yep.
This is how we use the methanol. So this is the methanol tank. So I fill that up, especially if I want to go racing, and I make sure my 2-gallon tank is full.
Well, we can hear the auto cross in the back. Have you taken this out yet?
The round, yes. This is really a straight line drag truck.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to
Yeah.
track racing.
Yeah, I built a car drag racing, but it does have an air conditioner, heater. So on the way out here, you just roll the windows up, turn the air on, and go to church, go get ice cream, do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Yep.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you so much, you guys.
You bet.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.